The founder of a charity in Africa, a Jamaica Plain woman, dedicated her life to serving others. And now she says she's fighting for her own well-being.
Joanna Lee suffers from a traumatic brain injury, the result of the Boston Marathon bombing. She turned to the OneFund for financial help and instead discovered what some are calling rough justice. Fox 25's Sarah Underwood with one woman's heartbreaking struggle to overcome a disabling injury.
I'm so sorry for all of us that day.
Joanna Lee, speech impaired as a result of the marathon bombing, can't hold back the tears as she remembers Patriots Day 2013. She had spent the morning at Abe and Louie's waiting for her friend across the finish line. When she left the party to pick up flowers, the first bomb went off.
And anybody who was there, the earth shook. It was the sound was just boom. You felt it in your soul.
Scared, she took off down Boylston Street, running toward the Atlantic Fish Company, when suddenly she was knocked off her feet.
So you ran right into the path of the second bomb.
Yeah.
And then what did you see?
Nothing. I was thrown back and blacked out.
And at some point you came to?
Yeah. I came to because people were trampling my legs. It hurt like hell.
What she describes next is chaos. People screaming. There was blood everywhere. The air, she said, yellow and gray. The smell acrid. She said her ears were ringing like buzzing cicadas. She felt dizzy. But despite her pounding headache and no visible physical injury, she went on to help others, tending to bleeding victims. She had a doctor's appointment already scheduled for 2 days later, she said, and thought she could wait.
I do disaster response. I know search and rescue procedure. You don't go to the ER unless you are dying or going to die in 24 hours. Because there are you may be taking somebody's place who is.
But it turns out Joanna did suffer from a serious injury, diagnosed days later by neurological surgeon Dr. Robert Cantu with traumatic brain injury caused by the marathon bombing. The injury, she says, leaving her with significant vision and hearing loss. She can't work or drive. Walking is a chore, and even simple tasks like laundry or saying the days of the week backwards is nearly impossible.
When you lose your brain to severe damage, you lose your legs also. You lose your mobility, your arms. You lose your ability to digest, to speak, to think, to see, to hear, to talk, to communicate.
For a 40-year-old business consultant who had just received a doctoral degree in international development and has spent months every year overseeing the charity she founded in Africa, this was a blow. So she turned to OneFund, the charity set up to help victims of the attack, for financial help. The fund raised an unprecedented amount of money early on and was able to divvy it out to survivors and victims' families in record time, $60 million in 60 days. The family of those killed and amputees getting $1 to $2 million each. The other victims paid simply by how many nights they spent in the hospital, $125,000 for one night, for example. But because Joanna Lee never checked into a hospital on the day of the attack, OneFund, without reading her medical files, categorized her as an outpatient. She was awarded just $8,000, the same amount given to someone with a sprained ankle. And she feels shortchanged.
I'm considered mobility impaired permanently, just as an amputee. I require physical assistance just as an amputee. And I can't get a prosthetic for my brain.
Bad things happen to good people every day in this country, and there's no fund.
Former OneFund administrator Ken Feinberg says Joanna Lee is justifiably angry. He is aware that there are many worthwhile people out there deemed ineligible for these funds, and tells me he doesn't for a minute minimize the criticism.
You have to do what I call rough justice. You have to draw the line somewhere to promote speed, efficiency, and minimal overhead. That's the other thing. If you're going to hire doctors to start examining medical records, if you're going to hire accountants to determine the financial wherewithal of victims, delay, cost, increased frustration among the very people you're trying to help. And I don't think you can justify a program with that approach.
OneFund Boston has raised about $12 million since its initial payout, and even more cash is expected to pour in as we approach the one-year anniversary of the marathon bombing. There are plans to make a second distribution to survivors this summer. The question is, will OneFund reevaluate its method for distributing that money? Lee can only hope.
I refuse to believe that people won't behave in a way that's good and decent when faced with the truth.
Joanna says she won't give up the fight. She also says she has no regrets running to help people that day. In a recent email exchange, she told me, quote, "I can't regret doing what is my instinct to do and what I believe to be right in my heart and soul. My life has been destroyed, but I still helped somebody that day." Sarah Underwood, Fox 25 News.